And in record time, Ted folded to Leslie in this very same episode. Happy Monday, fellow Beyond the Gates viewers. Here to talk about the start of a new week for this show. And the unfortunate thing about this week is we have all 5 days, so we don't have any soccer to break up the monotony of what this show has become. And today did not exactly start the week off to a hot start, I must say. It was another one of those episodes where it doesn't feel like a whole lot important things happened. Let's begin with Ted and Leslie. Ted and Leslie ran into each other, and Ted acted like he actually had a spine for once, like he had something to say to Leslie because of the way she talked shit the other day when Shanice came into the office and saw them together holding hands. And before Leslie left the office, she was poking at Shanice. Ted did not call Leslie out in the moment like he should have when it happened, but instead he was going to call Leslie out today, saying that she basically shouldn't have talked shit to Shanice the other day. And he did call Leslie his former side piece. Ted basically just told Leslie to do better. And when Ted delivered that line to Leslie, all I could do was laugh, because why would Leslie listen to Ted, who was always a pushover for her? And in record time, Ted folded to Leslie in this very same episode because Leslie wanted to do something with Eva together for Eva's birthday. Like Eva is a 7-year-old, so it could be Eva and her parents together. Leslie basically told Ted that he better not hurt Eva's feelings, so of course Ted folded to Leslie like usual. And Ted was a big clown. And like I said during the watch along, the writers on the show obviously hate men. We talk about that all the time, but they don't hate anyone more than they hate Ted. That's for sure. Isaiah and Andre were at the gym today. They were going to have a basketball game. They were waiting for Ted. Of course, we weren't going to see their basketball game. So when they came back from the basketball game, Ted told Isaiah about the thing for Eva's birthday tonight, and he wants Isaiah to join them. I feel like this is Ted wanting a shield, a distraction from Leslie at the birthday dinner, since Ted does not have the backbone to do it himself when Leslie starts doing her bullshit. Anyway, that was kind of the only thing that actually happened in today's episode. Well, I guess one more thing, but yeah, the big thing hyped up for this week is a birthday thing for Eva. Will it take place on screen? I don't know. We will find out. Let's see what else happened today. It was Anita's last chemotherapy session, so I guess that was our positive news for the day. Vernon was there with her per usual. Anita thanked him for basically being her strength throughout this whole process, saying that Vernon was the light that got her through this. And then Nicole and Danny were at the hospital too as a surprise for her. And then Ashley had this victory bell on the wall for the patients that get through this hard process. So Anita was able to ring the victory bell, taking victory over cancer, which was a cute moment. Then they all went home, had some sparkling cider together, Vernon and Anita and Nicole and Danny and Andre was there as well. And then at the end, her daughters wanted Anita to basically fully embrace her new lease on life, which it seems like Anita is ready to do. I hope that means that they have an exciting storyline planned for Anita and Vernon that isn't a health crisis, and that they can maybe put a lot of effort into, because the writers put a lot of effort into Anita, so they really need to come up with something dramatic, since they will at least maybe put the effort into it since Anita is involved. Anita's takeaway from this whole thing with the cancer was that it is possible to love this resilient Dupree family and the love of her life, Vernon, more than she did before. So yeah, I guess that was our cute stuff for the day. Martin and Smitty had a chat. This was after Martin did laundry. We had a nice little Tide commercial with Martin and Smitty again. Martin wanted them to have some alone time because it's the calm before the storm, because the Cotillion's coming up and Martin's running for office. Although I guess Smitty's already going through the storm with this damn impaler stuff. Tyrell was upset today because it turns out Jessica is going to UCLA, so they're not going to be at the same college. And I think Tyrell would really like to make love to Jessica before she goes off to college, but his parents are so strict with he and Samantha when it comes to dating. That's basically what their talks devolved into. Tyrell was saying he knows what he's doing. He knows he has to keep it wrapped up. But Smitty and Martin just want to keep building trust and communication with him. It would be nice if we could just see more of the teen scene. I actually think they could be more interesting than a lot of the characters this show actually decides to focus on. But they would have to actually focus in on the teens and let them be teens. And I think that's hard for our 70-something-year-old head writer to do. But it would be nice if they tried. Samantha, meanwhile, was at Orphe Jean's, and we actually had a June sighting today. Samantha, I guess, it hasn't been going so well for Samantha with the Cotillion coming up. She's getting stage fright. She hasn't been eating a lot because she's stressed out about it. So June had to basically cheer her up and cheer her on. Eva was there, so Samantha went and talked to Eva. And she doesn't just want Eva to do her hair for the Cotillion. She wants her to do June's hair as well, which kind of got into it. Well, June got into it with Leslie after Leslie ended up coming to see Eva. I can't find it in my notes for some reason, even though I know that I wrote it down. But it was basically Leslie coming to rant to Eva about the chief of staff at the hospital, Leah, because earlier in the episode, Leslie got into it with Derek because Leah isn't happy because Derek isn't letting Grayson volunteer at the free clinic, so she wants Derek to start managing it correctly. She told Eva she handled Derek. That's when June came over and they talked about the Cotillion. Leslie tried to tell June that she can't even get in with these uppity people in Fairmont Crest, and she now has as much money as them. So how is June ever going to get in good with them? Luckily, June did not get in her head again about going to the Cotillion, and June kind of gave it back to Leslie a little bit, saying that everyone's going to be at the Cotillion. Anyone that is anyone, basically saying that Leslie still isn't anyone. So that struck a nerve with Leslie. And then Leslie got Eva to agree to do the whole birthday thing with her and Ted tonight. Jacob and Naomi were together again in the damn hotel room, as if Jacob isn't in a bunch of danger, as if Grayson wasn't just stabbed, as if Naomi doesn't know that Ashley can now be involved with the danger. But yeah, have Jacob and Naomi meet up again. All it proves is that Jacob is terrible at this undercover work. Just absolutely asinine. I'm sick of them having to meet up because Jacob can't go a day without having sex with Naomi, which it doesn't even make sense because the storyline for Jacob and Naomi for months was that they were having problems and it was affecting the fact that they weren't having sex. But now suddenly, now that Jacob has to be undercover, he can't go a day without meeting with Naomi, even though the burner phone was supposed to actually just be for emergencies. But they ended up yapping about Grayson. Is Grayson good or bad? Is Grayson going to hurt Ashley? Is Grayson who Jacob is investigating? Jacob did what he's done in this entire investigation and say too much. He told Naomi that the person at the hospital that's involved with the investigation is Leah, the chief of staff, which is what Naomi eventually told Ashley towards the end of the episode. So now Ashley knows that it's Leah. So the whole slap that we saw in the preview is probably Ashley and Grayson trying to get Leah off of their backs, maybe. Derek and Ashley did share some scenes for anyone that cares. I don't think there's ever been one person that I've ever seen in the comments care about Ashley and Derek as a couple, as a friendship. But Derek came over to apologize that he doesn't want to come between her and Grayson. He's sorry about the way he was acting towards Grayson and it'll change. But she told him that she and Grayson broke up. Not that it seemed that they were actually ever in a relationship to break up. They just seemed like they were kind of friends with benefits more so, or maybe the beginning of dating. But the show is acting like they are this strong couple that has to break up because of Grayson now. It's really ridiculous. But Ashley at least told Derek that he was right about Grayson, and he knows he can't be Ashley's shoulder to lean on, but he's sorry that she's hurting. And yeah, that about wraps up today's not so good episode. It was a very tepid start to the week. It's nothing like May Sweeps. I said in the watch along, it's definitely giving May Sleeps. And I fear that this entire week might just give May Sleeps. I don't know why we just can't get some excitement, some drama. You gotta give your audience something. And episodes like today is showing that I don't know if they know how to do that with these two co-head writers.